Okay, let's see if anybody shows up today. I didn't put a video out telling everybody I was going live. I just thought that I would just do it now. See if anybody does show up. Oh, somebody's here. Who's here with me? Hey, you made it, Richard. Awesome. Nice to see you. Yeah. I thought I'd go earlier today. So it's just you and I so far. Anyway, so what I want to talk about today is I went to an eye doctor's appointment a little while back, and one of the questions that was on the form that I had to fill out was, do you have any past substance abuse issues? And on the form that I filled out, I said no. And so I when I went back and he went over the eye doctor went over the sheet with me, he said, "So you have no substance abuse?" And I'm like, "Yes." Um, it's like, "Why did you not put it on why did you put no on the form?" And I was like, "Because it's embarrassing to tell people that I'm an addict." So like when I first went into recovery, I would lie. I wouldn't tell doctors that I was an addict. I wouldn't tell anybody I was an addict. I couldn't even say it, let alone tell other people that I was an addict. Um, and so the pride, I mean, I was so embarrassed and ashamed, especially saying I'm a heroin addict, and especially that I am IV drug user. Like, I'm not sure why that just sounds awful to me. Yes, I'm a IV drug user. I've put a needle in my arm. And so the eye doctor, you know, I listen, like I didn't it was like a spur of the moment thing to put no on that sheet. To mark no, I don't have a problem with substance abuse. Never have. And then after I did it, I was like, my conscience started to, like, Avalon, you just lied. You made an agreement that you were going to be honest with any doctors. You were not going to hide this fact. And so by the time I got back there, I had thought about it and I decided, yes, I needed to be honest. If I start being dishonest, that could cause problems for me. Um, I have often thought about getting a different primary care physician that's closer here to me, because mine is an hour away. But if I get a different physician, a care physician, maybe I could get a script of. I don't think I would get a script of pain medication. I think I've come far enough for that I wouldn't. But what about a script for Xanax? Or a script for I used to be on this medication called Provigil. Provigil is an amphetamine. I got to set this thing up here. Provigil is an amphetamine. It's for people with narcolepsy. And I used to get that script a while back. Like, I had a doctor that gave me everything. That was back in like around 2004, 2005. Something somewhere along there. And I would do so much of that stuff that I felt I couldn't catch my breath sometimes. I'd be all speeded out. And so sometimes my addiction says, you know what, Avalon, hey, why don't you how you go get a new doctor, and you don't have to tell him that you're an addict. And it's very tempting to do that. Um, it's embarrassing to say that I'm an opiate addict because it makes me feel like they're going to think I'm weak, that that I'm not going to get the care that I need. Like if I need pain medication, is somebody gonna are they gonna withhold it from me because I'm an addict? If I'm in a car accident and my leg gets chopped off, I'm gonna want some fucking pain medication. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm afraid that if I'm, what if they don't give it to me? And what if they think I'm a piece of shit? I rely on the fact that if I dress nice and I put makeup on and I do my hair nice, that people are going to think I'm, I'm just above because I don't look the part, and I relied on that for years. I've mentioned before in my videos that I relied on the fact that I didn't look it. Like I'd have drug addicts and dealers ask me if I was a cop, and some wouldn't sell to me because they thought I was a cop because I look like a cop. you know um but it's really important that we're honest, because if I'm feeling weak, if I'm feeling, I don't know that weak's a good word, if I'm feeling like I'm on shaky ground in my recovery, who's to say I wouldn't try to get a script from my doctor? I'm not going to say that I'm above that. I know I just said that I think I'm beyond getting a pain prescription. That's a dangerous thing to say because I don't know that I am. I don't know that I'm beyond that. Because I think it's cocky if we think that we're beyond something. The last few days I've been going through a horrible depression, and I'm going to tell you something. I have wanted something to get me out of it so bad. I have been craving something to get me up out of this depression. The kratom is just, it's not, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but it's not doing what it normally does for me. And I got a lot to do because we're moving. As a matter of fact, we're moving a week ahead of schedule. So, I got a lot to do. And for me, I'm sitting there, God, if I had just had some pain medication, I just had some pain medication. But the problem with that is, guys, is that it wouldn't stop with just, just enough to get me through this move. Right. A lot of our records are, shared with a lot of the places around here. And for me being on Medicaid Fidelis, because I'm on, I have SSI. So me being on Fidelis, if I'm not mistaken, my information is all right there for doctors, no matter where I go, I think. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, like UHS or so to try to find, there's one doctor that was my Suboxone doctor after I left CARES. CARES is an outpatient. After I left CARES, they wouldn't take me an outpatient anymore because I'd already been clean 2 years. I didn't need, and so I went to a Suboxone doctor that had his own office, He wasn't affiliated with nobody, and he that's why he could charge whatever he wanted to for this freaking Suboxone dollars each time you go, just to go to get your Suboxone each month. It was ridiculous. But yeah, he wasn't affiliated with nobody. And there are doctors out there that have offices that are not affiliated. And it may be easier to get those things. Me as being an addict, my brain, like I could find, if I put myself, like if I really put my mind to it, I could find a doctor to prescribe me medication. I mean, addicts have been doing it for forever, right? If I really wanted to find a doctor to give me scripts, I could find one. It's just being an addict, we find a way, addiction finds a way. Oh, wow. And did you guys hear about that one doctor that was just arrested in Virginia for writing scripts for like everybody? He apparently, like, millions and millions of pills he sent out, and people would come in from different states to go to him, pay him cash, and he'd write them scripts. And he just got, I think it was like 40 years in prison, something like that. So they're really cracking down on doctors that are doing that now. Yeah. And they're nothing more than an upscale drug dealer. That's all they are. Because by now doctors know what the deal is. They know that that people are addicted. They know that we all lie to them. I lied to my doctor. My doctor even knew I was in treatment. The first time I went to treatment, I came back home. I went to my doctor who knew I had been in treatment, I went back to him and he gave me a script. I was like, I know that I became addicted to the pain medication. I know I did, but I'm just in so much pain. I just don't know what to do. Is there please something that you could do? I walked out of his office that day with a script of shootable morphines. What the hell? You can't tell me he did not know that what he was doing. I mean, it's just insanity. And so that's why it's so important that we're honest with ourselves, that we're honest with our sponsors or with our whoever we choose to be to help us in our addictions. If I'm going to the doctors and I'm tempted, I bet I had better involve some people. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I start becoming sneaky, not filling out that form right, if I didn't have a conscience and I lie, why am I lying? So I can possibly get a script at some point. That's the only reason. That's the only reason you would keep that from a physician. What if I can get a script? I mean, listen, I get tired sometimes of being an addict. I don't know about you, but I can't just take stuff like a normal person. If I have anxiety issues, I can't just run to the doctors and get a script of Xanax or Klonopin. And it's frustrating sometimes that I can't take. Benzos were never an issue for me. I never understood what people saw in them. But it doesn't say that it couldn't affect me now. I mean, it doesn't say. I'm a junkie. So whatever I put in my body that changes my reality could become a problem. I had a friend that was addicted to cold medicine I think it's DXM, dextro something that they put in cough medicine, Robitussin and cough medicine and cough pills. This girl was taking boxes a day and tripping balls. I tried it once. The first time I was in the halfway house, I tried Robitussin, drank a half a bottle of it, tripped my freaking face off, and I hated it. I thought I was like, it freaked me out. It was so intense. You're not in reality, and it's not a fun not in reality either. And so, me being an addict, I mean, anything could become an issue. I would, I don't know about alcohol. I don't know that I could become an alcoholic, to be honest with you. I don't. I like a beer now and then, especially during football season. I don't like the feeling of being drunk. I don't like the how your speech is affected. You start slurring your words. I don't like the out of controlness that alcohol gives. I don't mind the small mood lift from a glass of wine, but anything further than that. Avalon, I had a court Thursday and addressed the judge personally, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack before I got out of there. I told him how much you have taught me, but no names. I'm so glad, Tracy. I'm so glad. Right, your son. There's a lot of us who have children in addiction, and not knowing what the right thing to do is. You hear people say, tough love, you gotta, you can't, you gotta let them hit their bottom. And then I was talking to a lady the other day whose son's a meth addict, and she was like, I have to show him that he's loved. I can't throw him out on the street. Listen, I don't know what the right thing to do is. I know what it took for me. And I needed a good dose of reality and real life hitting me, guys. It's just so hard to know what the right thing to do is when you're a parent, Yeah, I get sick before I get drunk too. I get tired before I get drunk. Like, I just get to a certain point and I want to eat and go to bed. Basically, that's I gotta have a cheesesteak or pizza, and I have to go to sleep like immediately. I'm not I don't know how my dad did it. My dad was a drunk, man. My dad was a straight up alcoholic, and he would drink for days. That man would drink for days. How do you drink for days? But I'm sure a lot of people say, how could you put a needle in your arm? Well, we all have our thing, we all have our thing. Some people, didn't get to that point yet where they had a needle in their arm, but let me tell you something. I love you too, Tracy. And my heart's with you and what you're going through. It really is. There are not yets in addiction. Well, at least I didn't go to jail. Well, at least I don't have a needle in my arm. Well, at least I didn't get hep C. Well, at least I didn't do drugs with my kids. Well, at least I didn't. But you know what? All roads lead to hell and death. You keep on doing what you're doing. If you're in active addiction, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. When heroin was introduced to me, I just thought I was just going to snort it. But it took me, I don't even know how long it took me to have a needle in my arm. It wasn't long. I just wanted to try it to see what it felt like. Uh-huh. Yeah. Or a pie. Yeah. It doesn't take very long. And we lie to each other. We lie to ourselves to try to make it seem like it's not that big of a deal, what we're doing. I've said it before 1,000 times. We keep lowering our bottom and lowering our bottom. And Tracy, what I had was talking about in the beginning was how I went to the eye doctor and I had to fill out a form, and it asked if I had a problem with substance abuse now or in the past. And I said no, because I was embarrassed. I didn't want him to know, the eye doctor. So by the time I got in the office and to seeing him, he asked me, went over the form, and he asked me again, and I said yes. He was like, "Why did you lie?" It's embarrassing, but it's a slippery slope. I start lying and not letting people know, not letting doctors know, then in a weak moment, I don't like the word weak. I keep saying that. In a tempting moment, can I have a script? So this is started out, is I can't ever forget that I'm an addict. I can't ever think that it's okay to lie to a doctor. And here's the thing, like I have been in such a depression. Bernie and I are not getting along in the last few days because I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone because it's all I can do to get through a moment. And just being around people is hard for me because my patience is so thin and I just need to be alone. And right now I am in a very vulnerable spot. And my addiction is screaming at me in my ears, screaming that I need pain pills. What would make you feel better? Can't believe. This says my connection is unstable. Am I buffering, guys? All right. I cannot believe that those lies that go through my head. And that's a thing that, like, I called my sponsor yesterday and, just was telling her where I'm at. And so if you just, send out some positive energy for me, that this passes soon. And, because I'm not doing very well right now. And I'm very, my mother just died. And I've got, and I read the obituary for her, and I should have never done it. Talking about what a wonderful woman of God she is. What a beautiful woman, sweet and wonderful. And it just upset me. And I said that I can't be reading that stuff. And my curiosity took me there, and I read it, and it just upset me. And I have, right now I'm just, so send out some positive energy for me, guys, please. I need it. And Richard, thank you for being such a support. To me, you're an awesome, awesome friend. You reach out. Tracy, stay strong, with what you're going through. And I'm going to cut this off now, guys. And I hope you guys have a good day. If you need anything, message me. Brightest blessings and Goddess bless.